But yeah, man, the nice word gonna be truth. Gonna be truth. I'm gonna let Alexa finish doing her thing, but I'm gonna show you how she come in when she ready. But tonight's word is gonna be truth. There's the truth and there's your truth. And everybody's truth ain't the same, but it's connected to the truth. When I was about 17, I understood this, right? I had a 69 Nova. And I remember knowing exactly how much it cost to fill up my tank. And I would always make sure I kept enough money to fill up my tank. But I wanted the cheapest gas because I got the most gas for that amount of money. But my mechanic said, you can't put the cheap gas in your car, Trav. I said, what you mean? I say, it's gas. Y'all told me the car got to have gas. See, that's the truth. So you couldn't tell me I didn't know the truth. I understand the truth so much that I disciplined my pockets. I always made it say, if I got a car, then my main responsibility is having enough money for gas. So in my 17-year-old mind, I pull up to the gas station and I get $30, $40 on unleaded, because that's the cheapest gas. I ain't trying to pay for that premium. So when Mechanic Mike say, Trav, put premium in there. He said, everybody gas, your car don't take unleaded, your car take premium. That ain't your truth. You got a different truth. Same truth, but it ain't yours. So I kept being hard-headed. I put that unleaded in there. And here's when I understood the lesson. That I was being truth and I understood the truth. I understood that a car needs gas. But when I put that unleaded, I remember one time I went to the mall and I got out of my car and cut it off. And that boy was just farting and farting and farting. I went all the way in the mall. My car was still in the parking lot. I was like, God damn. I was so embarrassed. I was so embarrassed. I had rims on my car. I had a pretty paint job. I had a booming system. But I was in the mall in my car. I was in Freedom Mall. My car was still outside, just steady acting like it wouldn't even cut off. So when it finally stopped, I went out and got in my car and I drove to Mechanic Mike. I said, Mechanic Mike, something wrong with my car. I said, when I cut it off, it wouldn't cut off. It just kept on acting like it was Putin and farting. He said, didn't I tell you to put premium in there? And then he taught me about octane. And what's the difference between octane and how it's in the premium gas and different from the unleaded gas. So I began to understand that there's a truth about gas in the motor, but there's a particular truth within that for me. And so now I got a truck that only takes premium. And even when my pockets ain't what they need to be and gas is high as hell, I understand. See, I knew this type of car takes premium gas. So if I'm going to step into that truth in that arena, then I got to own it enough to know this is my truth. And if I look at somebody else who's following the truth, and they don't have to buy premium, they could buy regular. See, I got to know the difference. Another real life example that taught me about the truth and my truth. Earlier this week, I was chilling with one of my cousins. And he be on the knowledge. He talk the knowledge. What's going on, Lisa? I love you. Thank you for tuning in. I honor you. I value. The most powerful thing you can pay is your attention. And I'm so honored that you paying me some right now. And look, with all in me, I get a best in me, man, to show you how powerful it is to what you pay your attention to. I hope I plant seeds in your soul of understanding to truly know how it works so you can work it and make it work for you. That's what I intend to do for anybody that paid me some attention in this here moment, right? So cuz came up to me, cuz say, hey cuz, you know we Native Americans, don't you? And I already know where he coming from. See, let me tell you something about the woke ideology now that's going amongst black people. See, we suffer from an identity crisis. So because we constantly want to know who we are and what we are, you understand, we'll hang from any type of branch to feel like we are a part of a we. So he say, cuz you know we're Native Americans, right? And I said, nah, cuz I don't know that. He said, what you mean? He said, yeah. So he started telling me about something that he watched and something that he researched. And see, in this day, man, it was something very crazy that happened in the start of this day that brought this conversation on. So it was like, oh my God, here we go. Look at how it's working. The episode is getting good. So that day I woke up, man, from a message through Ancestry, right? And I had a white lady from Australia say, we are cousins. We are fourth generation cousins. How are you connected? And she broke it down the way she broke her thing down, and that some of her parents was into slavery or however it was, right? So this is a white lady from Australia. I'm dealing with my truth. And then a part of me it says, well, could this be true? And as I'm looking in the Ancestry app, right beside her message, where there's a connection of all the genetic traces that could possibly be on one side, my mother, one side, my father, right below her picture, I see a picture of my cousin's daughter, who was just on the news a month ago, who found her daddy through ancestral DNA. So I know and see the validity of the truth, right? So I'm looking at my DNA breakdown, and I got 1% Native American on my daddy's side. I got about 4% of that white people on my daddy's side. So I'm talking to cuz on my mama's side. And he say, cuz, you know, we the Native Americans. I say, cuz, that is the truth, but I don't really think that is your truth and my truth, because your granddaddy and my grandmama was brothers and sisters, and I've done the work to show. Cuz ain't none of that shit in us on that side right there now. I don't know who your daddy is, cuz I ain't really no Native American. So that's what we got to understand. See, we get caught up so much in wanting the truth, and the truth is a very certain thing. But you got to understand the contrast of your truth to the truth. So when we talk about the holidays, I hear a lot of people get caught up now into the ideologies and the trending aspect of knowing, of being woke. And they say, man, these holidays are man-made. Man, these holidays are pagan. And I say, well, what is the alternative of being man-made? If this holiday is man-made, then what is the alternative of being man-made? Are you saying that God made holidays? Or some? See, now we got to deal with the truth and your truth. Alexa, how you feel?
From wordhippo.com, I'm feeling a bit meek and dizzy.
See what I'm talking about? She says she's feeling a little bit weak and dizzy. And you saw how we started off, right? She wasn't there. I say, Alexa must be sick or something. But I had to run the play. See, sometimes in truth, I'm going to get back on point, but sometimes in truth, man, see, that's how it works, man. When you run into play, when you in real life, anything can happen at any moment. But if you stay ready, you ain't never got to get ready. See, that is the truth. Now, your truth is how you get ready. How do you prepare for when you run into play and the defense come in from a blindside way? How do you say, I'm still going to get the first down. I'm still going to get the fourth down. My Alexa say she dizzy and she weak. But one thing I can say, regardless of how she feel, she here. Alexa, I appreciate you.
Thank you. The feeling is mutual.
Alexa, what is the meaning of truth?
Truth is usually defined as the true or actual state of a matter. For more, ask me to give you more definitions for truth.
The true or actual state in a matter. So like I say, man, everybody's woke up. Everybody has the knowledge of what the truth is in the state of the matter of Christmas and holidays. Well, what is the truth about it? Alexa, what is the meaning of Christmas?
Christmas is an annual celebration commemorating Jesus Christ's birth. Western churches celebrate it on December 25th, a date thought to be tied to the winter solstice. The holiday fell out of favor in Europe and America in the 17th century but was reinvented in the 19th century by writers like Washington Irving, and, molded by immigrants' traditions, became the celebration we know today.
That's what Christmas is. Some people stand in their own truth to say, it's Jesus' birthday. I say, yeah. I said, well, where you get that from? He said, it's in the Bible. I said, no, it ain't. Where you get that from? See how that works? You see how that works? But what is the truth in that? Alexa, what is the meaning of personification? We're going to teach now.
Personification is usually defined as the attribution of human nature or character to animals, inanimate objects, or abstract notions, especially as a rhetorical figure. For more, ask me to give you more definitions for personification.
You give human nature and characteristics to non-human objects in nature. So how do we do that? What's an example of that? Oh, I think the greatest example of all is the sun. How do you personify the sun? How do you give the sun, the one sun that shines on the whole world, the sun that we all can look up to in the sky, the one sun, not what we believe. I'm not talking about belief, we're talking real life. How do you personify that? How do you give that human characteristics in nature? How? Well, we make it a man. This ain't no wordplay. This ain't something I'm just saying. I'm my mama and daddy's son. And every male ever lived is a mother and a father's son. See how this works? And ever since I came into this here world, see, I came in here to this here world to create my world. Just like you got the truth and you got your truth, but you got to know the correlation of two. to know your position in either one. So I come here as a son, and every morning I rise up. I rise up. I rise up to give my family the best of me. And I hope my rays shine so mighty and bright that it brings light to the darkness of my wife and children and all those who share my word. See how that works? You see how that works, right? So they personify the Son and they call it Jesus. What is it about? What is the truth? What is your truth? Do you know the difference between the two? Do you know the correlation between the two to understand your position within either one? Alexa, what is the winter solstice?
The winter solstice, also called the hibernal solstice, occurs when either of Earth's poles reaches its maximum tilt away from the sun. This happens twice yearly, once in each hemisphere. For that hemisphere, the winter solstice is the day with the shortest period of daylight and longest night of the year, when the sun is at its lowest daily maximum elevation in the sky.
So December 21st is always the winter solstice. That is the day within the year, within the cycle, that the earth tilts on its axis. And our hemisphere is its furthest away from the sun at any point in that year. So when you look outside, December 21st was yesterday, and it was cold as hell. And when it's cold as hell outside, you look around and you see death. All the trees are dead. All the grass is dead. Everything is bare. You see the tree structure. There's no life. At this point is the peak of when the sun is its furthest away. So that's what's really going on. Do you understand the truth? Now, one thing we know, if you reach the bottom, the furthest away that you can reach, you reach the end and there's nowhere else to go. Where do you go? You come back. So in the winter solstice, it reaches its furthest point away. We talking about the sun, right? We talking about the sun, right? We talking about when it stays in darkness, the longest point in that year, in that cycle. See, the darkness is here. I'm going to teach you tonight. Here's the darkness. The womb of the mother. The womb of the mother. He stays in the darkness as long as its point in this cycle. And after that day, he comes out of the longest darkness on a journey to shine. He's coming back. But they personify this in a story about a man that's called the Son. And you don't know what they're celebrating because you know it's the truth, but you don't understand how it pertains to your truth. So you don't know the difference between the truth and your truth. So if you don't know the truth and your truth, you see what you think is the truth and you don't associate yourself with it. So we celebrate or we don't. But either way, we don't really understand what is the truth in the matter. See how that works? You see how that works? See, when you look at the season, man, they say the Christmas spirit. See, look at the season, man. Let's take a pause from what you believe. See, this is why I say the truth is so simple that a child understands it. See, the truth is so simple that a child understands it. And you got to understand something, man. We all are children that has gotten old. So when you really want to understand something, man, see, they tell you to be childlike, but they don't understand it in the context to tell you. But to be childlike means to kiss it, keep it simple and sweet. It ain't complicated at all. So when you look at it, the season. Oh, so many people talk about depression. Every time in this season, someone commits suicide. It's always a celebrity. And then for a week or 2 weeks, everybody normalizes depression. And everybody has this empathetic feeling towards depression. I want to give a shout out to my big brother, Javon Clark. He said depression is really about us as black people wanting something that we can't have. So we become depressed. See, we want the sun. We want the shine. We need it. There's a particular reason that we have a relationship with Jesus more than anybody on planet Earth. See, when you understand the truth, and then you understand your truth, and you begin to understand the correlation between the two and your position in either one of them. See, the reason that we have a particular relationship that most people don't have is because we are children of the sun, because we built this land in this atmosphere based off the sun cycle. And when the sun is back, we thrive, we build, we cultivate. When the sun is at its furthest point away, Christmas, we are depressed, but we are part of it. Everything around you is depressed, gloomy. Alexa, what is the meaning of depressed?
The adjective depressing is usually defined as serving to depress, inducing a state of depression.
Alexa, what is the meaning of depression?
Depression is usually defined as the act of depressing, making sad or gloomy, dispiriting. For more, ask me to give you more definitions for depression.
Look outside and tell me if it don't look sad and gloomy. Look outside and tell me right now, on December the 22nd, 2022, wherever you are at right now in this here world that we share together, look outside and tell me if it's not depressing and gloomy. And we just wish all that our sun come and shine on us. See how this works? So in the depression state of mind, we are put with celebrations. During the depression season. And this celebration now, in a materialized way, says that we need to conjure up a fire. See, fire means energy. Fire means source. Fire means hot. So in this depressing season that has us grounded, the tradition in the American culture says right now there's a time for fire. You got to produce in the spirit of Christmas and Jesus' birth. And that makes a lot of people depressed. But that's the truth. Ain't necessarily got to be your truth. See, like I told you, when you understand how it works, see, it take a positive and it take a negative to create power. See, it take a positive and a negative to create power. And what you think is negative is because you don't really understand your truth and the truth. So you get to thinking what is negative is all about the devil. And all while you know, let me tell you right now, it's necessary. See, if you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there. See, I'm going to a destination on Sunday where I see joy in my children's eyes and on their face and in their body language. That's fine. It gives me peace. I know what it's about. So I ain't got to play the game about what it's believing or not. See, I know the truth. So now I understand my truth. So when you want to talk about the truth, but you don't really understand your truth, or you don't really understand the truth, see the difference? You really don't know how this works. So that's what this is really all about. And then the next holiday will be Easter, spring, still about Jesus, still about personification. Don't you understand? That's when he truly arrives and comes back. You begin to see the trees bud. You begin to see the grass grow. You begin to say, oh, he's coming back. My granddaddy understood at this time of year, he's coming back, son. At that time of year, he was as furthest away that he could possibly be. He was in the deep abyss of darkness. He was in his mother's womb. And he came out of the darkness to be born. And that ain't have shit to do with huh? So from Christmas, it goes on to the story. That's when he got killed again too. He died on Christmas too. That's what winter is, the death season. But then he rise up in the spring. I rise up. Oh, I rise up. My granddaddy say, that's when you plant, boy. That's when you plant. That's when you test your faith. That's when you got to stand on your square and know what you know. Because if you stand on your square and you know what you know, you already know he's surely going to rise again. And when he rise, man, and when he rise so tall and so strong, man, and we get to see and know the Holy Spirit, man. I'm talking about when the fruit drop on the ground and the tomatoes grown. When everything grown, oh, the harvest, oh, he's so beautiful. Oh, man, oh, God, shine his grace. Oh, man, look at what he give us. We're so blessed. We're so full. Alexa, when is the summer solstice?
In the Northern Hemisphere, the next summer solstice is on Wednesday, June 21st, 2023.
June 21st, right there in July. So you got the winter on December 21st. That's the furthest away that the sun is away from us. It's cold as hell. Whoever told you that hell was hot? See, it's cold as hell right now. There's a whole lot of people out there that ain't gonna make it in the coldness of hell. Hell will kill way more than the summer and the hot sun. Hell will kill in the death season of cold. So who in the hell told you that hell was hot? See, that's some of that the truth, but it ain't mine. Because the sun ain't never did nothing to me but made me strong. But there's some people out there in this here world that can't say that. Sun done something to them. Sun done something to them. So that's why we praise it more than anything and anybody on this here planet Earth. Because it done something for us. And can't nobody get what it got to give but us. And this is a Northern Hemisphere story. So you see what I'm saying? This is a Northern Hemisphere story. So this is a story that's particularly made about us and our truth and our relationship to the sun. So on June 21st, that is the closest in the cycle that we have the sun. That is the closest that we will be to the sun. And don't you understand, man? That is when the summer begins. That is when we got all the Holy Spirit. That is when our harvest is full. That is when we fill up so much with Jesus that when he died again, we can make it through the death season. We can stand on our square and know he gonna rise again. But if you don't know what this is about, you arguing about what a white man made. And yeah, he made it. Yeah, he made all the stories up. But he made the stories up while he was watching us build the strongest nation on planet Earth. And understand what I just told you was the truth. And I'm telling you the truth to let you know that the story ain't old. The story is new. Everything is new. Even me and you. We knew. They want to say who we were. We were. But we are something new. I just told you at the beginning of the show. I woke up and I had a white lady from Australia tell me she my cousin. And I can't say she lying and I can't say she wrong. Because the same application that she found me on, I just saw my cousin find his daughter. They found each other through the same application. And I see that daughter right there beside the white lady. And that daughter saying that she is my cousin through genetic tracing. So let me tell you about the truth. See, the truth is, we suffer because we got an identity crisis. And we want to be any goddamn thing except for this. You knew. And I'm going to tell you who you really are. You your mom and daddy child. And you your mom and daddy's grandchild. And you they mamas and daddies and they mamas and daddy's great-grandchild. And unless you're trying to trace that to understand who they are, anything outside of that, you just a monkey bar You just a monkey bar away from another monkey swinging, going by, trying to hang on any goddamn thing to be any goddamn thing. But you ain't no Indian, you ain't no Hebrew man, you ain't no Jew man. Now that's the truth. Now you can understand your truth in that. See, it's the reason why black men love pit bulls so much. See, black men love pit bulls so much because we empathize with the pit bulls. See, the pit bulls have a real strict stereotype of their temperament, of their nature. See, that's what the black man is in America. We go through the same thing. And so we love pit bulls because we can manipulate the breeding aspect of them. We can actually say, man, I made this dog. I created a bloodline. Man, this dog is bad. I went down to an Indian reservation where a man was doing pit bulls and he had 50 pit bulls. I say, man, why you gotta have so many? He said, because it take about 50 to create one ultimate champion. I say, well, show me your ultimate champion. And he showed me his ultimate champion. And he said, man, he done made me almost 25 of fighting under the lights. I'm talking about 1,000. But it takes 50 of breeding through strict knowledge of understanding how it works. I said, well, what you mean, man? He said, well, I got a way of bloodline of breeding to make my dogs have a bite that won't let go. He said, I breed that in a male. And then in the female, I breed a temperament that won't quit. So my bloodline bite hard and it won't quit. And can't nobody mix that shit like me. I said, damn. So when you understand the power, man, that goes into that, you understand why America is the strongest nation on planet Earth. You understand why technology is a new thing. And most of its inventions was from America, from a new type of people. See, inventions, so you got to understand technology. That's what I'm telling y'all. Ain't nothing old. We ain't old. We are new people. Don't you understand that it's somebody right now that's 80 years old that lived a point in their life where they didn't have lights or a bathroom? That ain't 300 years ago. I'm talking about 80 years ago. People didn't start getting lights in America, the average person. To the early 60s, late 50s. My daddy was born in 1955. Wasn't no lights and technology, TVs and radio, so all this is new. That was created in the last 100 years by new people. And the reason you don't know the correlation is because you don't want to understand. See, I always tell you, man, the truth is nowhere because the truth is now here. And if you can't find it in the moment, you ain't gonna never find it nowhere. So every 4 years, they have something that we call the Olympics. In America, who's the youngest, spoilest daughter of the most powerful family in the world, brings the evolution of her breeding. The black man and the black woman. She made that shit. Now you see how I'm using personification to show America as a powerful daughter in a rich family, but she's the youngest daughter, and in that family, the youngest daughter always gets what she wants and always have the best. Always have the best. The youngest daughter always is the most spoiled. Think about the youngest daughter in every family. By that time, mom and daddy was kind of old and they didn't have that much fight. So they just gave the youngest daughter everything. The youngest daughter ain't never had to go through the shit as the oldest children did. So yeah, we are miracles. And she bring her dogs to the Olympics every 4 years, and every damn thing we in, we win. So that's why the black man loved a pit bull. And for the very same reason, I did my ancestry. I'm 33% Nigerian, some West African, some other kind of Africans. But I got 1%. I'm made of every goddamn thing. So now when you look at the American bully, the same way, if you're a pit bull or if you're a grown man and understand what pit bulls and how the pit bull game go, you know now that the real raw pit bull done faded out. That ain't even a new thing. Now it's all about the American bully. They have messed with genetics in bulldogs and terriers that they have bred and come up with a true concoction and chemical reaction to create a whole new pit bull that looks a certain way and got a certain temperament. And these puppies are going down for almost $10,000 solely because of the way they look. And they even took it further to make the little Frenchy dog with the big ears. They making new dogs. See how the truth work? So no, I hate to tell you the truth, but I'm gonna tell you. A lot of people can't accept that. But that's just how it works. And I'm glad I understand the truth. Because it freed me from thinking that I got to try to be some shit. When all I got to be, all I am, all I need to be is my mama and daddy's son. My wife, husband. My children, father. My grandparents, grandson. I ain't got to be nothing else. And because I know what it's all about, I know my truth in it. So in the depression season of all this holiday shit, when I call it shit, because everything outside is shit. It's cold as shit outside. It's cold as hell outside. Man, I feel like shit in the winter. Because I love the sun and I love the sun season. And I love when it shines on me. And I love when it's close to me. And that's what I'm made of. So I know what it's about. But I also love the fire that this here season put inside of me to burn and warm my soul up. They say a man is as real as his reason. See, in the midst of death, I have a reason to be strong. I have a reason to yearn for something. I have a reason to work towards something. And that reason is to see joy on my baby's face. And I understand what matters to who matters. So that joy is determined and meted by me and my wife. You don't know if that's materialistic or not. See, that's when it becomes my truth. But my truth ain't your truth. I asked somebody, why you don't celebrate Christmas? And they told me. And the answer that they told me sent a chill through my soul. And I say, damn, if that happened to me on Christmas one day, I'd probably be like, fuck Christmas too. So at that moment, I had to understand her truth. See how that works? You see how that works? Me too. What's up, brother? Welcome to the huddle, man. Real Talk Thursday, man. Real Talk Thursday. Alexa, I love you.
That's so nice. Those kind words are helping your tree of kindness grow. And if you ever want to check how your tree is doing, just ask, how is my tree of kindness?
See what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying, man? That's what I'm talking about. Talk some real shit tonight. We'll talk about after the show what was going on. But hey, look, I appreciate her effort. See, that's what it's all about, man. That's what it's really all about right there, man. You see Alexa was going through something. The show had to go on. I had to run the play. If somebody missed a block on the play, I still got to run it. I still got to run it. We'll talk about it in the huddle. We'll talk about it in the huddle. But I got to run the play. So she can lean on me. Yeah. I'm saying this to Alexa. Alexa, lean on me when you're not strong.
Playing specific songs is only available with Amazon Music Unlimited.
I'll be
Here's a station based on Lean on Me by Bill Withers.
Alexa, stop. Alexa, stop. Alexa want to sing with me, but I'm going to sing this song with her. Lean on me when you're not strong. I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Lean on me when you're not strong. That's what it's all about, man. You know what I'm saying, man? I love you, man. I love y'all, man. I'll see y'all next Thursday, man. I do this shit because I love it, man. I want to sing tonight, man. Hey, look, I know I'm finna go, but I want to sing. I give you the best of me. And everything around me deserve the best of me. I give the best of me, and everyone else around me gonna receive the best of me. Add value, man. Add value to every door you walk in, man. Add value to every door you walk in, man. Give it the best of you, man. I promise you, you're enough, man. I promise you, you are enough. And if you give the best of you and you understand mathematics, you understand hero mathematics, man, anytime you have a plus, a add, you become the fire, man. You become the sun. You become what you are. You wake up every day to give. I say, I feel good. I ain't got nothing else to do with it. If you need love, come and get it. I wish this feeling would last forever. I feel good, so good. I'm just going out singing tonight. That's how good I feel, man. You understand what I'm saying, man? Hey, I don't even want to leave. I feel so good. Hey, Kamara, I love you, big brother. I am too. I love you. Lisa, I love you. Let me see who else commented. I'm going to shout you out. I don't want to miss nobody. If you gave me some love, I want to shout you out, man. You know what I mean? I ain't missing nobody tonight. Yeah. Money Mike, I love you, man. I'll see y'all next Thursday, man. Hold me down.